Let's start with some introductions from the Lab to Market Alberta program team. My name is Claire Kay, and I am the Lab to Market Alberta program manager based at the University of Alberta. The majority of my role is in setting up and running all the facets of the program here in Alberta, and I am also the program manager for the Innovation Catalyst Grant, a funding program for founders who are recent grads. Aiden and then Zamina, please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Sure. Thank you, Claire. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aidan Mukhtarli, and I am the program coordinator for Lab to Market here at the University of Alberta. We're really pleased to welcome you to this session. So as program coordinator, my responsibilities include the overall coordination and smooth operation of this national program, ensuring graduate students have the resources and support they need to translate their research into real-world impact. And today, we will learn how Lab to Market guides participants through market validation and commercialization strategies. Aside from my program coordinator responsibilities, I am also events coordinator for the Innovation and Partnerships team here at the University of Alberta Vice President's Office, Research and Innovation. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to sharing more information about Lab to Market with you. Thank you.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Zamina Kasim. I'm program manager here at Innovate Calgary. For those of you that aren't familiar with Innovate Calgary, we are the tech transfer office as well as the incubator for University of Calgary. This will be my third cohort that I'll be supporting, and I've been pretty humbled to see the experience of the researchers that we've seen so far go through this Validate program. It's a pretty exciting program. And it's been wonderful to work alongside Claire and Aiden to support the individuals. In addition to supporting the Lab to Market program, I'm also program manager for the Startup Visa program for Innovate Calgary, and looking forward to hopefully having some of you go through the program.
Thanks, Aiden and Zamina. Also included here is Luke Roberts at the University of Lethbridge. So if you're based in Alberta and have a question later on after the presentation, please reach out to one of Aiden, Zamina, or Luke. And as the stipends associated with Lab to Market Validate are funded in part through MyTax, we will be joined later by Eric Liu, Regional Director for Prairies, who will outline the process and requirements for the MyTax applications. Eric will be able to directly answer any questions you might have about the MyTax applications and awards. So in our time together, I will give an overview of Lab to Market and the Validate program. Then we'll cover the application process and best practices as well as MyTax. And we'll have a Q&A at the end. But feel free to ask questions in the chat. So between me, Aiden and Zamina, and Eric joining later, we should be able to get your questions answered. Okay, I'd like to start by outlining why Lab to Market exists. Many of you on the call are researchers, and you may be aware that for the past 2 decades, Canada has been lagging other countries for research commercialization performance. This graph shows a gap in a specific metric known as BIRD, which is Business Enterprise R&D Spending. And as you can see, Canada's rank among OECD countries has been declining. So Lab to Market is a research commercialization program designed to address this problem. And the opportunity that we see is our outstanding public research infrastructure and personnel, and how emerging innovation can be developed into commercial applications that will benefit our economy. Lab to Market is a national network supported by the Government of Canada, with 33 post-secondary institutions across the country that have partnered to deliver a suite of programs. Here in Alberta, the hub has delivered 2 Validate cohorts, and we're currently recruiting for the 3rd cohort to run over the fall term. So if you become part of Lab to Market Alberta, you are not only part of that specific cohort, but you also get access to this much broader ecosystem. So as mentioned, funding support for Lab to Market is provided by the Government of Canada, and stipends are supported in part by MyTax. And here in Alberta, we are also funded by Prairies Can and Alberta Innovates. So this funding is associated with the economic development objectives for Alberta. And the mandate of Lab to Market is to empower you, the researchers, to bring your innovative technologies to the world. It's our thesis and our belief that it's you, the researchers, that have this deep technical expertise and knowledge of your innovation that you are the ones that are capable of bringing this to market, that with a growth mindset and entrepreneurial drive and a support network, you can learn both sides, the technology and the business. And so we want to empower you to bring your innovative technologies to the world. I mentioned, or actually I didn't mention, it was on the image, but Edmonton Unlimited is a delivery partner, and every Wednesday they host a community coffee that is open to everyone to attend. So next week, Lab to Market will be taking over the community coffee, and this is a great opportunity to connect with the program team and past participants, and to check out Edmonton Unlimited, especially if you haven't been there before. So for those of you in the Edmonton area, I really encourage you to register and attend. And I will pop the link into the chat. And hope to see you there. And also, for those of you in the Calgary area, Lab to Market will be at the University of Calgary Innovation Expo on May 20th. Zamina, would you like to say a few words about this? And I'll pop the registration in the
Yeah,
chat.
sure. Thank you, Claire. This is an event that's being held, hosted by the Faculty of Science, and it'll be on at the Hunter Hub on May 20th. So Lab to Market will have a desk, like Claire said. I will be representing the team there, and we'll have some past participants there as well if you'd like to connect with them and learn more about their journey through the program. But I'll be there to answer any questions and provide some more information if you have, or if you know of individuals who couldn't make this session and would like to learn more, bring them along there, and we'll be happy to provide some information.
Thanks, Zamina. This is a screenshot of the website that I'm sure all of you will recognize. And I wanted to highlight that although today's session is about the Validate program, there's actually a suite of programs offered by Lab to Market designed to support researchers at every stage of the entrepreneurial journey. So the earliest program, Discover, is around discovering entrepreneurship, and it's essentially an introduction to business concepts. Next is validating commercial potential of research innovations through market research. That's the Validate program. And then the final two programs, Launch and Build, are geared to supporting our participants in beginning to execute, to actually launch their ventures and build market-ready products. So these programs act as inflection points to set you on that right path for the next phase of your journey. And I also wanted to mention Validate Foundations. This is an intensive 3-day program designed to set participants up for success in the Validate program. So we, the Alberta Hub, we're not running one, but the Pacific Hub will be. They're currently accepting applications for the June cohort. That's 3 days in June. So I recommend that you apply to that. And let me pop that link in the chat. And participation in that program will make you a stronger applicant to Validate, and it will really help you hit the ground running. So let's talk a bit about Validate. It's a 4-month program to do extensive market research. So there's a stipend of $10,000 to step away from the lab, to engage with your theorized customers and other stakeholders in your ecosystem, to find out if the technology that you're working on actually has commercial potential and a market. So the core of the program is customer discovery, which is essentially interviews. It's not survey work, it's conversations, to gain insight into the customer's perspective. So I don't want to sugarcoat anything after running 2 cohorts. To be successful here, you need to be ready to step out of your comfort zone, really get out of the lab and seek new insights. So the program creates an amazing opportunity, and it's really up to the participants to make the most of it. So how do we help you as researchers to become entrepreneurs? The framework that we like to use in our programs is to look at 3 areas of risk that we need to assess and mitigate throughout your journey. First is market risk. Are there enough individuals or companies out there, your theorized customers, that have a severe enough problem that can be addressed with your proposed product or service? And would they be wanting to switch from what they're currently doing to solve that problem to actually pay for your solution? Number 2 is product risk. Is it technologically feasible to build what the customers want and to sell it at a price that the market will bear and that earns you a profit? Third is execution risk, to take your product all the way to market. This may come as no surprise, but there are lots of ways that startups can fail. The biggest one, time and time again, is building things that nobody wants. This happens when startups just assume that what they are building has customers, has a market application, is solving a customer's problem, but they've never actually engaged with these individuals or companies. So this is extremely risky, and that's where Lab to Market Validate comes into play. So we are going to help you, our participants, assess and minimize market risk by ensuring that there are individuals or companies out there that have the problem that you can solve. And that in doing this, you're going to get information to chip away at product and execution risk. And all of this feeds into a go, no go decision that helps you decide, do you want to go down this road of entrepreneurship and commercialization? Or do you want to pause and possibly step away with the skills that you've gained and pursue other ideas or avenues? So we provide a framework and resources to support participants, including a world-class curriculum. We have spent 4 years refining a program that was inspired by the NSF I-Corps program in the US and has been immensely successful. So this is adapted to the Canadian context, and it's delivered by practitioners, people that we engage from outside academia, people who have been there and done it themselves. As mentioned, for funding, there's $10,000 stipend to invest your time towards those market research efforts, to step away from the lab over 4 months. And this gives you time to focus, to figure out key questions like, who are your initial target customers? What do they value? How will you sell them your product or service? And we do a warm introduction to a mentor from the innovation community who can act as a sounding board for your insights and challenges as you work through your customer discovery journey. And another significant offering is the network. You will be part of a tight-knit cohort that you get to lean on and learn from. Peer learning is a big component, and you're also joining a larger national network. And within this rich environment, the participants are expected to commit themselves fully to the process and work diligently towards their objectives.